Welcome to the Online Business AMA Podcast, the podcast where I answer your most pressing questions about building and growing a successful online business. I'm your host, Lauren Diana, certified business strategist and coach, here to give you the clarity, support, and strategies you need to thrive. Let's dive into today's question.
Hey, it's Lauren, and today we're talking about pricing, but not just the numbers. Amanda asks, and so in my head about pricing, I have no idea where to start. I worry I'm not charging enough, but afraid people will think I'm too expensive.
This is one of the hardest decisions for a business owner. I know I tend to approach pricing in a more analytical way. I look at market positioning, strategy, and data, but here's what I also know. At the heart of every pricing struggle is a mindset block, a belief system that's keeping so many of you stuck. Maybe you're afraid to raise your prices because you think no one will pay them. Maybe you assume you have to charge less because you're just getting started. Maybe you believe the market is too saturated or that pricing is somehow tied to your self-worth. But pricing isn't about you. It's about your market, the transformation you provide, and where you're leading your clients. So today, I want to break through some of those limiting beliefs by unpacking the biggest pricing mistakes that keep people stuck. The truth about pricing at any level, whether it's $9, $900, or $9,000, how to know when it's time to raise your prices, and how to price with clarity and confidence without all the overthinking.
So let's get into it. One of the biggest pricing mistakes I see is people pricing based on what they personally would pay. Look, just because you wouldn't pay $5,000 for a service doesn't mean your ideal client wouldn't. Let's say you're a social media manager and you think no one will pay $2,000 a month for this, but your clients, they're business owners who don't have time to figure out content strategy. They see your service as an investment, not an expense. Or maybe you're a designer and you're charging $200 for logos because that feels fair to you. But a startup that just raised $500,000 in funding, they're looking for high-end branding and will happily pay $5,000 or more, not because they love spending money, but because they want a designer who understands business growth.
Your pricing should be based on what your ideal client values, not what you personally would spend.
Instead of asking yourself, would I pay this? Ask, what would my ideal client, who truly values this, be willing to invest? If you're struggling on figuring out your ideal client, grab my ideal client generator. It's totally free. Just click the link in the show notes. I also hear this all the time. There are too many people doing what I do. I have to charge less to compete.
But here's the truth. You are way more aware of your competition than your audience is.
You spend all day in your niche. You follow others doing similar work. You analyze their offers, but your ideal client, they aren't watching your competitors all day.
For most of them, you are the first person they've ever considered hiring. Your job isn't to compete with the 50 other people you follow. It's to position yourself as the right choice for your audience. Instead of lowering your price because you think there's too much competition, focus on showing your audience why you're the best fit for them.
Pricing should be intentional, not based on feelings.
One of the biggest mistakes I see is basing prices on competitors without understanding their positioning. Just because someone charges $2,000 doesn't mean you should too. Are they serving the same audience? Do they have more authority, more experience? Another mistake is ignoring global pricing differences. If you're in the US but attracting clients from the UK, your pricing might feel too high based on exchange rates and market expectations. And assuming lower prices mean more sales, sometimes low prices make people doubt your quality. If you way underprice, people might assume it's not worth much. It's a fine balance. And that's why if you haven't actually researched what people are willing to pay in your industry, now is the time. So pricing should be based on demand, value, and positioning, not fear.
There is value at all price points. It just depends on what role that price plays in your business.
A $9 product can be just as valuable as a $900 product. A $9 ebook that gives someone one specific life-changing insight, that's incredibly valuable. A $900 course that helps someone build a profitable business, also valuable, but to a different market with a different transformation. It's about positioning and intent. Are you using a $9 product as an entry point to bring people into your world? Is your $900 offer designed for people who need deeper guidance and results?
Price isn't what makes something valuable, it's the transformation in the audience.
Now, how do you know when it's time to raise your prices? If you're fully booked but still not making the income you want, it's time to adjust. If your clients rarely question your pricing, that usually means you could charge more. If you've gained more experience, better results, or a stronger reputation but haven't updated your rates, that's another sign. So, how do you raise prices without losing clients? First, increase gradually. If you're at 500, don't jump to 5,000 overnight. Second, add value. Can you improve the client experience or refine your offer to make the new price an obvious fit? And third, give a transition period. Let past clients know your rates are increasing soon. This can even encourage them to book at the current rate before the change. Your pricing is not set in stone. As your business evolves, your pricing should too.
So let's wrap this up.
Your pricing should be based on market demand, not personal spending habits. Pricing should come from research and positioning, not emotions. And there's value at every price point. It just depends on who the offer is for and where you're leading them. Take a look at your pricing today and ask yourself, am I making decisions based on facts or fear? And if this episode gave you a new perspective on pricing and you want real personalized feedback on your pricing strategy, your positioning, or your business growth, I have something that can help. Inside my private unlimited coaching program, Marketing Muse, you can get direct guidance from me without booking long calls or waiting weeks for support. Just ask your question, get a strategic answer, and move forward with confidence. If you're ready to stop second guessing and start making decisions that actually move your business forward, click the link in the show notes to learn more.
That's it for today. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. I hope you found it helpful for your business. If you've got a question you'd like answered, just head on over to onlinebusinessama.com to submit yours, and it might be featured in an upcoming episode. See you next time. Want to learn more about growing your business online? Are you a coach or course creator who's looking to sell out your programs and courses? Learn more by visiting laurendiana.me.